Welcome to our basketball coaching class presented by Basketball Immersion and Luceo Sports, where we provide a platform for top basketball coaches to dive deep into the details. We're excited to have Brianna Finch with us. Brianna Finch joined the Boston University women's basketball staff in June 2021 as the program's assistant coach and recruiting coordinator. She now enters her fourth season with the Terriers in 2024-25 and her second as the associate head coach. Owning nearly 20 years of coaching experience, Finch served as Davidson's director of player development before she arrived at BU. Prior to her time with the Wildcats, Finch spent a year as an assistant coach at Florida International University and spent the prior 3 seasons on staff at Barry University. Brianna, welcome to the basketball coaching classroom.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Chris. I'm excited to be here.
I can't wait to dive deep into this. And Coach, why don't you get started and present to us 44 pistol?
All right, let me go ahead and pull up this drill. So we do this drill probably 3 to 4 times a week. It's a 4-on-4 advantage drill that we like to use. It starts just 4-on-4, no specific actions, just trying to play the advantage. You can see in this film, you'll see we are going against our scout group. We have practice guys that we're very fortunate to have. Sometimes we'll go against ourselves. But we start just 4-on-4 advantage, and then we'll evolve it to include our actions. We run the pistol action in transition. So then we incorporate that into this drill. We'll do a 12-second shot clock. And yeah, I'm going to play it through a little bit and then talk through just some of the pointers that we like to use. So offense will start a little bit beyond in the backcourt. Defense starts with their foot on the semicircle in the front court. And then offense is coming full steam ahead. Defense cannot leave until the defender guarding the ball cannot leave until the offensive player has the ball. And then we're pretty much live from there. The defense can help from wherever they want. Sometimes we script it if we know we're playing a team that is takes away certain actions or certain passes, but usually it's pretty unscripted in what the defense does. So you see there, our best shooter got out quickly. She exited well for a nice, good look. And again, we're just trying to, work on quick decisions, quick choices, as we like to say. This is out of the pistol action. Like I talked about, our post slips the screen. She could have attacked there. I think she could have probably attacked that second closeout, but we got a nice open 3. And so we're just talking through choices with the group. What's a good look? How do we play off the closeout? How do we make 2 people guard 1? And how do we find the open player? Doing that again with a short shot clock.
Take us through that a little bit more, this concept of talking through choices. You're giving them possibilities rather than musts. How do you shape that initially? Do they start with things they must do so they start to learn the different things, or do you give them freedom immediately?
I will say we give them a lot of freedom pretty early on. Now, I will say our foundation is built on spacing concepts and finding the open player. So we build it out. Everything from the very beginning is 2-on-1 decision-making, shooting with live defenders. Most of the shooting drills we try to do are with a live defender so that they're having to make that choice, whether it's 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3, and then how do we move off of penetration, and then how do we move the ball to find the most open player. So then when we go to a drill like this, that is what we're hoping that they transition and transfer the skills to, so that we can, again, then we just work on making good choices. Once the defense maybe gets back to neutral, then how do we create another advantage out of that off of penetration or some kind of action? We don't even give them, obviously with a short shot clock, you're probably only going to get 1 action, and then you got to find the most open player for this next advantage. But we do give them quite a lot of freedom early on with that.
So a coach at home who's adapting this to what they do, it doesn't necessarily have to apply to pistols. The key starting point, can you talk about just giving that initial advantage so that they can stimulate some decision making?
Yeah. So again, I'll play it back a little bit here from the beginning. So yes, you can, again, tweak it to whatever, if you run something else in transition, you could do a stagger away, you could do a single pin down on the weak side, whatever actions that a coach would want to implement with it, you definitely could, or just using it as a simple, I say simple, but a basic decision-making drill. But right here, you can see the ball handler, the defense is on her side or on her hip, which to us means that person is beat. So now we're trying to hunt whether that player can get to the basket. And if they can't get to the basket, where does the help come from? So this is Alex. She's a senior for us. She led the nation in 3-point shooting the year before last. She's a very good player. It's always going to draw a lot of attention. She does a good job hostaging here. And then you can see she drew that weak side, more or less weak side defender, and then finds that player. So now we've created 2-on-1 on that side. So on this person, the player in the corner's catch, she has the choice. Is she open for the shot, or is she going to make the one more for the more open shot given the time? There's 10 seconds on the shot clock. So she makes the one more. That player probably should have shot the ball. She is not a great 3-point shooter for us. So if that's Alex in that spot, we're expecting her to shoot it every time. But this player's not, she's not a high percentage 3-point shooter. So she plays off the closeout. Again, trying to find how do we create another advantage. She did a good job Alex did a great job exiting quickly after her pass, which is something we also work on with our guards. And then our ball handler found her in the corner for a
Two
pretty open.
things stand out there, Brianna, if you could go back to the 2-on-1 advantage, because you already referenced 2-on-1 shooting. And that's essentially what good offense creates against good defense, is these 2-on-1 advantages to the weak side of the floor, and then learning how to play out of that. So that connects that shooting game to this. And then the other thing I just want to highlight that you can talk about a little bit deeper, because I think coaches can really build on this, the concept of the exit cut. Get into space, get out to space, and how important that is.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So you see here, Alex, the guard who makes this kick out. And then and that's again, something we talk about, getting in and out of spaces. And Alex is an elite shooter. So for her, I use obviously Steph Curry as the inspiration to a lot of what we do, because she's only going to have a half second to create space to get her shot off. Everybody knows she can shoot the ball extremely well, and defenses are going to be running at her. So when she makes that pass, she knows she has to get outside the 3-point line. And then and from a spacing perspective, that's also what we talked about. We don't want to stay inside the 3-point line and take away driving lanes, or make it too easy for the defense to guard multiple players with just one person. So by Alex quickly getting out and exiting and getting her feet ready for that next shot, and even if she had gotten out a little bit quicker, she probably would have been even a little bit more open, because her feet would have been a little bit more set there. But that's definitely a concept we rep. Again, similarly, whether it's just an individual workout and I'm just repping it with her, or whether it's in a 2-on-1 or 3-on-2, probably more likely in a 3-on-2, 4-on-3 shooting drill, because there's a little bit more movement and penetration. But that's something we definitely talk about and work on as a focus for us.
Awesome to see. And can you connect for us some of the different constraints that you might play with within this drill, particularly maybe defensive constraints to be able to shape the offense, or some different variations of this drill that you use to be able to develop some specific things?
Yeah, so a couple things. So like I mentioned, we do a short shot clock. So 12 seconds. Sometimes we'll even, if we're not doing the pistol action, we'll make it even shorter. So we'll do an 8-second shot clock if it's just playing out of the initial 4-on-3 with the chaser advantage. We will also award extra. So we do 2s and 3s. And then to emphasize perfect passes or precision passes, more likely, we'll give like an extra point for a pass that's really hitting the shooter in the pocket. Or sometimes if we're being really strict, they just won't, if the pass isn't on target and they still make the shot, we just won't count the shot. We want our shooters to catch the ball ready and in a position to where they can get that shot off quickly and not having to lunge or reach for a pass. We also talk about not shooting off a bad pass. So we want to make sure that we're, again, once we create the advantage, giving ourselves the best opportunity to convert. Defensively, like I said, we don't always script it, but depending on there's some teams that really take away that drift, that baseline pass against us, because we've been really effective in that space. So we will really emphasize for our defensive group to make sure that we take that away and don't allow that. Other than that, we don't typically give too many defensive constraints. I do think that we have some things we've talked about in evolving this drill, is that defensively playing the drill for defensive purposes instead. So using it as a defensive small-sided games drill. So maybe, again, instead of offensive scoring, the defense, if again, we're playing against ourselves and not the scout team, we're flipping it, that if we can get back to neutral, maybe we get a point, or just playing it for stops purposes, again, with a short shot clock and using it for that purpose. That's
Well,
something
I
that,
love that point, particularly for high school coaches, because they're
yep,
playing offense versus defense with their own team. And I just love that you highlighted that fact that you can make it a defensive emphasis with that type of scoring system, particularly as more and more people understand getting it back to neutral, because
yeah,
basketball is a game of opposites, right? Offense wants to play with the
exactly.
advantage and defense wants to take away the advantage.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's actually a term that we've now very firmly adopted within our program, and our players now use it as, even in transition defense, we're talking about getting to neutral. And what does that look like? How do we get there? Once we're there, how do we stay there? And so using, yeah, we've definitely tried to use these drills that we've for a long time considered offensive advantage now to use for defensive, how to be at a defensive disadvantage and get to neutral. The one other way we've evolved this is we've gone in transition. So we play the drill one end with, this offensive advantage, and then we'll play it down and back in transition and then reset it. Just again, to make it a little bit more realistic and have us have to go from offense and back to defense and communicate in that space as well.
Coach Finch, this has been awesome to be able to deep dive on this and to be able to share this type of detail and this type of phrasing and these words with us. And obviously you've done your work as a coach and preparing for these moments like this to be able to share the game with us. And we so appreciate it. But one last question, can you share some specific professional development initiatives you've undertaken to enhance your coaching skills and to prepare for future roles?
Yeah, I've been doing this a long time, and I'm very thankful for that. Basketball's taken me all over the world, and in the opportunities that I've had within different organizations like WBCA, We Coach, things, professional development opportunities, I've been able to be on some committees, and I've been a mentor for We Coach the past 2 years, a gold mentor, which is a way of saying that you've been doing this a long time. When I have been able to mentor some younger coaches, and it's given me the opportunity to not only give back but continue to learn and grow. And I've had the chance to go, abroad and do some coaching clinics in different countries, again connecting with coaches and from all over the world and sharing and learning and presenting the knowledge that I've gained over my career, and when presenting it to other people in different cultures and languages and whatnot. And so I think that's not only allowed me to grow and develop, but it's made me a better coach and a better person. And I hope those opportunities will continue to allow me to do what I love, and whatever that looks like moving forward, and increase those opportunities. But I'm very thankful for everything I have, and hopefully what the future holds in this career as well.
We're so thankful for you and all you do in the game as well. You're a great sharer online. You're a great communicator of the game. And we're so grateful for you sharing with us in the basketball coaching classroom presented by Basketball Immersion and Luceo Sports. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching the Basketball Coach class. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And check out luceosports.com and basketballimmersion.com today.